Hello. Oh my God. The absolute audacity I have to just pop back up in your subscription lists. I'm so sorry. Hey. For those who might be seeing this video of mine as the first one that they're seeing, my name is Nissa Ray. I am a married mum living in South Australia. And I disappeared. I don't even know how long it's been. I want to say maybe 6 months, you guys. The last bit of last year. Have I got an update for you. So that's what this is. This is a hello 2025. This is a hi, sorry I kind of disappeared. A bit of an update video. So if you want to press pause and go get yourself an ice cold Pepsi or make yourself a cuppa or give the kids an iPad to entertain them so that you can sit here. I have no idea how long this video is going to go for. But for those who are not new to my channel and my videos and how I conduct myself, I can sometimes be a little bit long-winded, much like this introduction. So we might be here a little while. I'm not even going to be able to update you on absolutely everything because I am sorry, but what the heck was 2024? And more specifically, what the heck was the last 5-6 months of 2024? Because I'm not going to go into a full update of what the whole year was like because as things were happening and I was still trying to remain present on this channel, I gave a little updates. Like the beginning of the year, my health was not great. I had some emergency surgeries. There was just so much that happened. So first and foremost, I'm back. I have a lot of really big goals for my YouTube channel and my other social media platforms that I am present on. As far as YouTube goes, I want to get back to filming regularly, at least uploading once a week, maybe twice a week if I find content that isn't going to feel like absolute drivel. And I would really love to reach 1,000 subscribers this year and get myself into, do we call it the Creator Fund on YouTube? I would just like the opportunity to maybe make some money from my videos. I don't anticipate it's going to pay the bills, but it would be nice just to have a little bit more of a cash flow. Because, I mean, we're all living in this current world and the current climate and all the other words people like to use for the fact that everything feels super expensive. So that is my goal. And I want to... I want to try and promise to you guys that if you help me reach that goal and if you guys continue supporting me by watching my videos and if you tell your friends to come and say hi and subscribe and all of that stuff and I manage to reach 1,000 subscribers and I so desperately want to promise that I'm not going to be wishy-washy. I want to prioritize doing this because I actually really enjoy filming videos for you guys, talking to you guys in the comments, getting inspired by you guys. Like I even dropped off watching videos like last year. I'm going to stop saying it, but it kicked my tush. Okay. So yeah, I really want to prioritize and focus on the things that make me happy this year, and doing YouTube videos and talking with you guys and being part of this community is definitely one of those things. And I figured, why not make an ambitious goal? So the goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year and hopefully making a little bit of money off the views from my videos. I think I'm currently sitting at a cute little modest 400 and something subscribers, which I'm really grateful for. But yes, the goal is to increase that by 600. And we will see how we go. Same with my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram here and it'll be linked in my bio, and my Facebook account will be here and linked in my bio. Leading on from Instagram and Facebook into the next subject that I have to update you guys on, and that would be this little bad boy right here, my beautiful book. So how is this all going? Well, if you follow that Instagram account or that Facebook account, it is predominantly for my book, but it's really for my social media presence. Sorry, I've still, this was probably get brought up at a different point, but on Christmas Day, I was sick with COVID. And I'm still quite phlegmy and coughy, even though I'm completely healthy now. I feel like I'm going to have this cough for like the rest of my life. So I do apologize if I'm clearing my throat a lot or coughing. I know it's annoying. I know it sounds gross. I am so over it. But like I said, I think that this might be my life now. Moving on. So my wonderful little book, and I am so stinking proud of this book. I have big ambitions for, oh God, everything. But I have big ambitions for my author hat that I wear. And I'm currently in my second print. So this is the second batch of books that I've had printed because I sold out of the first. Now, that sounds really impressive, and it is, and I am so grateful, but my first print was a very small print. So I printed 300 copies when I first launched my book, as I was only anticipating selling maybe 50 copies to like friends and family. I did not anticipate selling 200 copies in my pre-sale. And I am so blown away by that, truly and honestly. I had very low expectations for how this was all going to pan out for me. The sales have definitely slowed down, which is fine. I think I'm at the point where I'm starting to exhaust my customer base in my local town. I'm finding it very hard to get exposure outside of the walls of my town. And it can actually be quite draining and kind of soul crushing and really confidence like destroying, trying to push for exposure on social media. But I've seen it happen for so many people. One video on TikTok or one famous person catches wind, they say one thing, one video goes viral, and it can be life-changing. And really what I require for it to be absolutely life-changing is such a small number that it is totally doable, and I'm going to not get discouraged. I'm going to remain positive. So basically, my biggest plan this year is to publish my second children's book, which I have already written, and it's about Ollie's little brother, Jimmy, and it's going to be called Jimmy the Daredevil. And in order to do that, because I fully funded the publication of this book, and it was not cheap, give or take a few bibs or bobs here, it was a lot. And in order to break even, so not making a single cent of profit, which I don't anticipate doing at all in this journey, and it's not why I did it, it would be a really nice bonus, and I would not refuse it if I was able to financially contribute to the family through this passion. But I'm not anticipating making a single cent of profit. My goal is to break even so that I can fully fund the next book without going into further debt. So in order to do that, I need to sell another 700 copies of my book. And I think that I'm going to achieve that by hopefully gaining exposure in other parts of the country outside of my town. I really feel like the people who have supported me and are going to support me have done so already. I did a market fair sort of thing at Christmas time in my town, and I was there for 3 hours, and I sold over 20 books, which I am chuffed with. But I think if I'm to sell further books within my town, it's going to be in that sort of setting. And it's going to come in dribs and drabs and not a big amount like when I did pre-sale, which is totally fine. The support I've received has been overwhelming, to say the least, in a good way. So yes, that is my goal. I would really appreciate anyone's support in just liking and sharing, following my social medias, just interacting with anything that I post that's got to do with this book, because that will create, I don't really know the right word that they use for it, but the more interactions that I get on my post, I believe the more it gets pushed onto other people's For You pages and as suggestions and stuff like that. And that's really what it takes. And it's just, yeah, it's definitely been a very big experience going into this. And look, if I've sold all the books that I'm going to sell and I get to sit in my home with 700 copies, then it is what it is, because this was a lifelong dream. I've wanted to be a published author since I was a little girl, and I mean little girl. I was a 6-year-old girl who would sit in my room and I would make books using all of my parents' printer paper, and I would colour them in and I'd scribble words and I'd staple them and I would shove them in the family's bookshelf. I have wanted to do this basically my whole life, and I've done it, and I'm really proud that I have been able to fulfill my lifelong dream. So if this is as far as I got to take it, I am so lucky. I do feel an immense amount of responsibility to make sure that I do it again for my son James. He deserves the honour of having a book where he can see himself in it as well. So I guess if we have to go into more debt, then that is something that we will eventually get around to doing, because he deserves a book too. I do feel a little bit of pressure to make our money back. I feel a little bit guilty. My husband has been so incredibly supportive and he does not care about the money whatsoever, but there's just this little voice in the back of my head that's like, you've at least got to make your money back or you failed. And I know that that is not the case, and I keep trying to remind myself, and I have this other inner monologue that's arguing and fighting with the little evil voice monologue that's going on, being like, you suck, this has failed. Even though I know it hasn't. And it's just, I'm really struggling to get my words out eloquently to describe how this has all felt and how this has all been. But at the root of it, I just feel really lucky and I'm really proud of it. And yeah, so I have plans. I'm going to film, hopefully, I'm going to film a reading, like a storytelling, and I'm going to read the book and show you close-ups of the illustrations. And I will upload that at some point as well, which I will then share on all of my other social medias, in the hopes that some people will see the book and they will find value in the book and in owning the book and may purchase a copy for themselves. I want to make a little asterisk here where it's not an autism book. I'm not autistic, so I feel like I don't have the right to speak on living with autism, but it is in honor of my eldest son who is autistic. But it's more honoring the tenacity and the strength and the absolute amazement that my husband and I have witnessed as his parents, as he has grown and found his way in this world with so many obstacles in his way, or mountains that he has to climb. And it was really important for me when I did this book that I included a page of really safe and reliable resources for parents and individuals within Australia to access. They will offer information, correct information. They will offer you some advice, options for gaining advice. They will give advice on how to access services and helplines and so much more. When we went through this with my first son, it was our first experience as parents. We didn't know anyone else who was walking down the same path as we were. We didn't know anyone else who had any insight into what our son might be experiencing as a little 2-year-old who was nonverbal for a long time. And when we Googled, we came across some really dangerous organisations that are wildly popular and are often referred to, but spruik a lot of false information that is damaging and dangerous. And so I wanted to make sure that I had some organisations and resources that have helped us and I feel comfortable sharing with other people to access information. So you'll find that at the back of the book. I'll go more into depth into this maybe in another video. Oop. And then there's also an about the author page, which has got me and my boy, and it's just got a little spruik about me and our life and what this book means to us. And then, of course, just the beautiful illustrations that I am so proud of that I did not draw. Everybody always likes to ask that, and I wish, look, there's me. I wish more than anything that I had the talent, but I do not. My incredible publishers have a team of illustrators, and I paid for these illustrations to be done for me, and zero regrets. They have done a beautiful job, and I'm so excited to see how the next book's going to look, because I can already picture the illustrations in my head to go along with the stuff. Anyway, all right, that's it for that. That was my long-winded. I'm actually just going to check to make sure we're still filming. Oh my god, we're up to 16 minutes. I really hope you guys got a hot drink or a cold drink and a snack, because okay. So, oh God, right, that's enough for that. Put this away. Now, next update, my health. So, quick recap from last year. I had a bit of bad luck at the beginning of the year. A hernia that I developed while I was pregnant decided to partially protrude, and I was in absolute agony and had to advocate against some very biased surgeon in order to receive adequate health care. But I did end up having emergency surgery to have that removed. I was diagnosed with a condition called hydrodentus suppurativa. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'll put the word up here, which is basically known as reverse acne or inverse acne. It is quite commonly linked with hormonal issues. Now, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I have since I was 11. And through that, I've had a myriad of health issues and whatever you want to call it that is linked directly to the hormonal imbalance due to PCOS. Now, this condition is often linked with people who have PCOS because of the hormonal imbalance. And I needed to have 2 emergency surgeries because the acne can turn into abscesses. Now, without getting too graphic, sorry. And I had one under my arm, like in my armpit, and I required surgery on that, and it was absolutely awful. I'm not going to go into too much graphic details about this condition. However, if you're prone to getting really sore pimples or abscesses or lumps under your arms or in hot spots, I would encourage you to Google this and just have a look. And if you think that you might, it might fit the criteria of something that you're dealing with, I would implore you to go speak to a doctor. There is no cure, but there are ways to manage it. There are medications, there are washes, there are creams. I'm now under the care of a dermatologist, and knock on wood, it's definitely getting better. Hopefully I won't have another flare-up that requires fentanyl for the pain and a hospital stay and 2 emergency surgeries. That would be nice. But that's what happened in the beginning of the year. Now, the end of the year. So a bit of a health background. Like I said, I have had polycystic ovarian syndrome since I was 11. And my form of PCOS also created some insulin resistance. So I have been on a medication that is designed for diabetic people, but but is also used for people with PCOS to help alleviate their symptoms. Now, I've been on this medication since I was 22 when I finally got diagnosed with PCOS, because that is a whole other backstory of inadequate healthcare that I'm not going to get into right now. But I was finally diagnosed, when I was 23, because it was the same year that I got married. And when I got pregnant, which took a lot, it was very hard for me to get pregnant and stay pregnant. But when I did my pregnancies with my 2 sons, I obviously had gestational diabetes both times. So PCOS it kind of flirts with the line of not just being an endocrine disorder, but also being a form of diabetes. It flirts with the line, and there've been so many talks and discussions amongst the health world about making PCOS a diabetic condition officially. I don't think it is yet, but it's quite... Anyway, I was thinking to myself, like, I know I've had polycystic ovarian syndrome. Like, I'm 34 now. I think at the time I was 33. So I've had PCOS for 22 years. It's been 9 years since my first experience with gestational diabetes, and then I had it again. I was like, I have a feeling that I should get my glucose tolerance, like I should get my glucose levels tested. I think I should test to see if I have type 2 diabetes, because I was ticking a lot of boxes. I had no symptoms except that I was really tired and always thirsty. I was drinking liters and liters of water a day. Anyway, went to go do the test. Blood sugar levels through the roof. Did a few other tests, and lo and behold, your girl has type 2 diabetes now. So I am currently in a whole different world of trying to figure out how to manage it and hopefully reverse it with things like medications and diets. My blood sugar levels were very high, to the point where they reacted to them in a way that made me panic, and I had to ask them, am I okay? And they stopped and looked at me and they were like, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel fine. I had a great sleep last night. I'm a little bit hungry because I had to fast for this, but I feel great. And they were like, if we give you that drink, you're going to collapse on the floor. And I was like, oh, right, well, okay. So anyway, I've been living with that knowingly now for about 4 months, I want to say. And I have halved my blood sugar levels in half in 4 months, which is great. However, they're technically still too high, but they are the lowest my body has experienced in a long time. So I keep experiencing hypos, which is where your blood sugar levels drop too low. But it's hard because mine aren't too low, but my body thinks they are. And let me tell you, a hypo does not feel great, especially when I have this other thing that I experience called vasovagal syncope, which is when your body is put under too much stress or too much pain, you just pass out. Look, if anyone's going to have it, I'm going to have it, okay? I don't half-ass anything, guys. If I'm doing something, I'm doing it good. So my first hypo, my vasovagal syncope got triggered, and I thought I was going to die. And that sounds so dramatic, and I'm sorry. I can laugh about it now. But I legit thought I was going to die. And the hospital was like, just eat something with sugar. And I was like, I can't. And they're like, look at you. Eat something with sugar. So anyway, long dramatic story later. I had a couple pieces of Nutri-Grain, and all of a sudden I wasn't dying anymore. I'm laughing because what else can I do? So that's, the new thing. But apart from that, my health has been pretty good since all of the other stuff has happened. It's just getting a handle on this new lifestyle change and trying to figure out the best way to make sure that I'm keeping my blood sugar levels down, because I don't want to die from diabetic complications. I would like to live a really long time. So that is the main focus now. What else happened at the end of last year? University, right, let me update you on that, because holy heck did I shock myself. So I don't know how many of you know, I don't know how much I went into like details with you guys, but last year I entered university for the first time in my entire life at the baby age of 33. And I had to do the foundations pathway. So the pathway is the foundations course, which typically is meant to go for 6 months. And then you have to do like an undergraduate or diploma for the last 6 months to make it one big bulked thing. I didn't know how I was going to cope with study. So I did the foundations portion over a year. And now I'm doing the next part. So how that went for me. So with my foundations, I had 3 classes. I had a introduction to academic writing, an introduction to developing academic skills, and then learning mathematics at university. Those were my 3 classes. And I'm a very academic person. So the first 2 classes were great. I ended up getting final grades of a D, which I believe is equal to what we're used to in Australia as a B. So I'm very happy with that. The maths one, I am shocking at maths. Unless it's money, I am shocking with maths. Algebra, fractions, the whole lot of it, awful. And it was the worst 3 months of my life. But do you want to know something? I graduated my maths class with a HD, a high distinction, which is an A. I got such a high grade for my maths, which included exams, I shit you not, that I received a letter from the Dean of Programs congratulating me on my impressive grade. Guys, what? Yeah. Don't ask me how I did it. I still haven't got a single idea. But there we freaking go. I did it. So I've graduated the first year of university with a GPA of 6.33, which is so impressive for me. The highest GPA I believe someone can have is a 7. So I'm like, I'll take it, sure. And then I got accepted into my next step, which I'm doing the diploma in health, which is along the lines of like allied health. And this will hopefully allow me to lead into starting the occupational therapist degree at university. So I am currently, I'm going into the Diploma of Health at a full-time capacity, which is a little daunting because I will now be doing 4 classes at a time over both semesters. I've enrolled in my 4 classes for semester 1. 2 will be on campus, 2 will be externally online. And I'm a little bit nervous. And I'm mad at myself for being nervous because last year should prove to me that I can do it. But here's a real bit of honesty. While I did very well with the foundations course last year and I did it, I hate university. I hate it. I hate how it feels. I hate the studying and how the stress feels to get things done on time, to understand something, to sit an exam. I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it. There are fleeting moments of relief and peace and happiness when you've submitted an assignment and then it goes because you look over and you're like, oh, there's the next assignment. Oh, I hate it. But it's necessary if I want to do what I want to do. And I'm very lucky that I get to do it. Please, oh my God, I know how that might sound. I know I'm very lucky to be able to go to university. But I hate being a student. Oh my gosh. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. In saying that though, 3 days ago, my laptop that isn't even a year old that has all of my stuff on it just died. It just died. Just pieced out. I have no explanation for it. And no, I didn't back anything up. So my husband is currently down at Harvey Norman with them talking about warranties and getting them to access the whatever and backing up my hard drive or whatever. And because I couldn't do it because I was so sad. I'm sorry, guys. I have to laugh. You have to laugh, okay? Oh God, I know I'm so dramatic, but like honestly, how else are you supposed to get through life? I feel like the older I get, the more bullshit comes, and you just gotta be like, yeah, cool, okay. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. I've told them I need a laptop by middle of February, because that's when my classes start, and I am stressed about managing 4 classes as it is. I don't want to be a couple weeks behind because I've got no computer. So that's happening. Then of course, you know, before we wrap all of this up, I am going to do a separate video showing my binders and my tweaked budget for this year and our financial goals. That will be a separate video leading in. I won't be doing a cash stuffing for week 1 of January, which is currently now. I will start the cash stuffings again from week 2. These will be the videos that I will try and upload during week 1 or early bits of week 2. But I have a vision board for this year. I'm not going to go through all of them. They might not be obvious, like the pictures correlate with something to me, but they may not be obvious what they mean to you guys. But yes, this is my 2025 vision board, and, you know, basics like I want to see live stage productions this year. I want to really prioritize time with my husband and my friends. Study, obviously. I want to increase my fitness because I believe that is all part and part of getting a handle on my health and making sure I live a long life, because your girl has thunder thighs and she doesn't really enjoy sweating all that much, but it is necessary. I need to start raising my heart rate, and not just because I've walked up 3 stairs. I'm trying to remember what else is on there. I want to try and start waking up no later than 6 a.m. every day. The goal is 5 a.m. so that I can have like an hour of peace before my children's feet hit the ground running. I want to learn some hobbies. I want to journal. I want to read more. I think that's the gist of what's happening here. And yeah, 2025, I've got a lot of ambitions, but I feel like I don't want to change myself. This is the biggest thing this year. I don't want to change anything about myself. I am so happy with who I am. I am so happy with how I feel about myself. I am so happy about the direction my life is taking. I feel so happy about the control I feel like I've got over my life and its direction. And that is, it's foreign to me. It's new. So I've got no resolutions to change myself in any way. I just have a lot of big ambitions. 2025 is the year for big ambitions, which is crazy to me, because what was last year then? I freaking did university, became a published author. I don't really know, but this year feels like it's going to be bigger, and I need to start sleeping more than 4 hours a night in order to not keel over halfway through the year, I think. But I'm excited, you guys. I'm excited, and I'm so grateful for everything that I have and all of the opportunities that are presented to me, and for all of the support and wonderful people I have following me and in my corners. And I'm excited. 2025 is the year of big ambitions, and if I can just achieve one of them, it will be a win. But I am going to work my little butt off to try and achieve as many of them as I can. Anyway, this was long-winded as hell. It's nice to know that I can just jump right in and talk to you guys like as if we're face-to-face, though, after being on hiatus for God knows how many months. If you're still here and you still care, I appreciate you so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, interact, share me, just anything that you feel comfortable or at a capacity to do. I would be so extremely grateful. I want to be more present on social media because I want to try and build my networks on there. So I want to try and make sure that I'm liking and commenting and sharing things back. It's funny because usually it's like less screen time, be on social media less, but I want to build the networks that are available to me through these social media platforms. So here we go, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you've made it to the end, comment a pink love heart so that I know that you stayed. I wouldn't be shocked or disappointed or upset if you didn't. This has been long-winded. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. Have a great day. Be safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.